everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Ryan's Falcons going up against Roethlisberger's Steelers. So let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try and run for the first time with Freeman. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. James Harrison, the veteran, in on the stop. And a man, as we look at the starters now, a man who really has earned us talking about him in the booth, Julio Jones.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver each and every year. So sleek, so wonderful. I call him Secretariat.
Now it's Ryan. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
This is Bell, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go.
Here's a direct snap to Bell. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal.
Easy. Go.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. And it's hauled in by Rodgers for a Steeler touchdown. Eli Rodgers, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Cameron Hayward is a defensive lineman, but many of us, especially guys of my vintage, remember his father, Craig Ironhead Hayward, who was a running back. I think Cameron decided he'd rather hit people than be hit.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Devontae Freeman. They're not going to get him. The 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 71 yards. Before making the run, heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. He'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste, gives him fuel for the next season, though, because, remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Sammy Coates has it complete. A good pickup there at 22. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And the defense definitely showing blitz here. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it, too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free. On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass and completing it.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. 2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. The left side completion to Jones. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Now Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. The 40. Past the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ladarius Green, 87 yards. And the Steelers have taken the lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
15 yards through the air on a 1st down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down.
Let's go. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Ready? Right here. 20.
On 1st down, Ryan. He's got time in the pocket. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the Combine. You know, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams, so your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and minicamps. You get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Halfback sent in motion. Here we go on 4th down with Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Offense still needing 10 yards, 2nd down. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Now a Wildcat look. It's Bell. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. They'll go again with Bell. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it. Not necessarily.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Brown, the lone receiver, left. They go play action here on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put
Yeah,
down.
didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on 3rd down. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end, and it's 4th down.
Well, that's the type of pass play that you need to wait for routes to develop. You need a little time in the pocket, but that's hard to do when you got people in your face.
Roethlisberger will stay out there, and they're going to go for it on 4th. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. Looking for someone to throw to. That is caught inside the 5. That'll be a gain of 11. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. And connection #1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you probably...
Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. It's the fullback taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point now by Boswell. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the 1st half. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And the kick goes outside the white lines. That's why the flag comes out.
Yes, and that was an error by the kicker, and it will give the offense great starting field position.
Freeman. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
15 yards through the air and a first down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
That is caught at the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And with that, it's 2-minute warning time here on the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And, Charles, I know Ryan Shazier, who made that tackle, a youngster you like a lot.
I love him, and I liked him a bunch coming out of Ohio State because the more this game leans towards speed and less on bulk, that's where Ryan Shazier excels because of his ability to run down plays. If anything goes away from him, he'll chase it. A lot of the time, he can run with tight ends, running backs downfield and pass coverage, and that only helps his outside linebackers like James Harrison and Bud Dupree get to the quarterback.
He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of two play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
what's
guy,
going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. Brown finishing 2016 with over 1,200 yards, 106 receptions. Now for him, people were expecting maybe some bigger numbers, Charles. What did you make of Antonio Brown's season?
Well, what I made of it is that he started to get more help along the way. Jesse James developed at tight end. Once Le'Veon Bell got into the lineup, he started to catch passes out of the backfield and ate up a few numbers as well. So Big Ben had more targets to throw it to. That should help Antonio Brown going forward in 2017 because he'll still be the primary guy. But when you get help, he can make bigger plays downfield.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handing it to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Eli Rodgers with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for 2 is snuffed out. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And here now come the Falcons. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now Ryan on first down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's into the clear. Touchdown, Falcons. Taylor Gabriel as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a play fake here on first down. Green's got it over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first.
Now that run, that's exactly why you stay with the running game. You don't abandon it totally. You stick with it, keep telling your guys to stay motivated, and they found a crease on that play.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. And quickly they get to the line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
In the red zone this time. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And complete on the right side, it's Tammy. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On second down, here's Ryan. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there, and it's third and short.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Freeman again. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game. It's not just the offensive linemen and the guys charged with protecting him that take it personally. When the franchise quarterback is dropped on the ground, it runs through the whole organization from the owner all the way down.
It's like every single time he goes down, everyone holds their breath.
Not only do they hold their breath, but they feel the hit as well. They're just trying to think of ways for it not to happen again.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
A decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's caught over the middle by the tight end, Green. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Man open left side is Brown. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger goes underneath for Bell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Tyson Jackson in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. Eli Rogers, the intended receiver. And 4th down coming up. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Get up! 25, check 25,
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Defense showing blitz. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Connects with Sanu right side. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Alone to the right is Jones.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. It's caught. Jones. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Back now in Pittsburgh. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. Shift together here from the D-line. They come up in an offset eye. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the gun on third down, Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now Ryan, his pass caught at the 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Ryan. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Taylor Gabriel, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th. So a big play coming for the Falcons as they'll go for 2. To throw forward is Ryan. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And on that last catch, Charles, he tops the 150-yard mark. It's one thing when your wideout gets that. When your tight end gets it, it's quite another. We keep seeing the evolution of that position, don't we? Where we've seen where it's gone from strictly as a blocker to a guy who caught a few passes to now an integral part of the passing game, sometimes the primary receiver, because a lot of these guys have wide receiver skills, and we're seeing that on display here. Just think about the guys of the past looking back at this game and saying, sure wish that was me. I'd love to have gone out for those types of passes. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. 2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Coates. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Here's Roethlisberger. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
And let's see what the defensive coordinator may have up his sleeve here to try to get this final last stand and win this football game. Now Ben on 3rd and long. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Darius Hayward-Bay, 32 yards. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And at this stage in the game, every play is magnified here as we get down to the nitty-gritty. 2nd and 10 now, Ryan. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Now a play fake here on first down. And complete on the right side. It's Tammy. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Here's Ryan. Looking left sideline, incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Ryan. He finds Coleman. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Another pistol look here. Here's Ryan. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be... Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Well, timeout on their side here. In fact, a lot going against them. They do have a small glimmer of hope.
No one likes to play extra football. They want to go for the win right now.
They'll run. It's the fullback, DeMarco. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Patrick DeMarco in the final minute. And the Falcons have broken our tie.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
He's going to let it fly, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And able to find Green. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll look to throw. He's got time. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Only 1 timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have 1 timeout left. And that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch. Not at all.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. This is Freeman. Ooh, with a juke. They find some open field here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They go play action here on 1st down. Tammy's got it. Complete. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.